My name is Randy Bigley. Joining me on the podcast right now from Colonel Crawford Schools, Superintendent Todd Martin. Hello, Todd.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. It's good seeing you.
Well, it's always good to be on the show. I appreciate you having me.
Thank you. And there's always, Colonel, I love your schools. I love your school system. Let me be the first to tell you, you've done a fantastic job there. And I'm not just saying that because you're here. I would tell anybody that. So.
Well, it's been a true team effort. And
yeah.
I think that's why you have appreciation days in April and in May where you're appreciating your staff. And I'll tell you what, I appreciate my staff immensely. I mean, I told them at one point when we went through COVID, there's no group I'd rather go to war with than you guys. You guys, we've been through ups and downs, and it's been a journey.
Cool, awesome, yeah. And I think we're talking to. I think this is your last visit with us on the podcast.
It is.
Yeah.
Times will be changing. Like I say, I'll take on a new role starting August 1st.
Okay.
With North Central Ohio ESC, and
so you can finish out the summer at Colonel Crawford. Close to it. Yeah.
June and July, you close up the books, close up the projects. I want to transition Mike Bull into the position of superintendent, so he's all set and ready to go. And
which you can't ask for a better continuous of what's going on at the schools with Mike.
No, he's the perfect pick. He's been here. He knows the district, and you run the risk when you bring somebody on new of losing your identity, and he understands the identity of Colonel Crawford. And,
awesome. Yeah.
I think things are just going to continue to go well.
Good. And on that note, this is the month of May, which is coming to the end of the school year, but there's all kinds of things going on. In fact, there's lots of stuff going on. What do we have going on at the schools?
Oh, so we just got out of April where we recognized, the administrative assistants, your secretaries and such, who basically are the heartbeat of the district. They're the first to take the call, the first to greet the people at the door. Those are the people that kind of leave a lasting impression, and we acknowledge and do some things for them. We have amazing administrative professionals at Colonel Crawford. But it was also testing month. And I think our administrators, our teachers, and everybody involved put our kids in a position to be successful on the state testing. And we got through that. So now May is, okay, let's let the kids be kids again, and let's enjoy education. Let's not just worry about this daggone test. Let's worry more about the social, emotional, the having fun, to being a kid again. And we got a lot going on. It's Staff Appreciation Month. So I know the 6 through 12 building did Spin the Win, where the staff would come down and spin this wheel. Yeah. And they had some task or some crazy off-the-wall thing to do. And there were food and games, and it was just an amazing week. And this week, the elementary is doing Survivor, which is a similar. You got to spin, you got to take on a task, and it's just fun stuff. Sure. To allow the adults in May to be kids too. Right. We all need it.
We do. Yes.
Well, we got 8th grade going to DC.
Okay.
I took that trip. I was a chaperone a couple of years ago, and good heavens, do they see a lot in those days they're down there. They're there, I think, 3 days. But one day I have an app that tracks my steps. I did 26,000 steps.
Oh, man, yeah.
I don't think I walked right for a week.
I
don't think I could do this too many times, but and that's an amazing thing for the 8th graders to see the nation's capital and to learn more about the ins and outs of it. It's a great time for them. We have the academic awards night that happens mid-month, to where you get to see the seniors, who's winning what scholarships, how much money, where they're going to school, underclassmen giving awards. It's just a great night to acknowledge our kids and the successes of our kids. So that always goes well. We have DARE graduation for the 4th grade.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's huge. And I think some schools have phased out DARE. I think you got to keep DARE part of your program. You got to hit the kids early before middle school. And Deputy Martin does a great job with the DARE program. We're so blessed to have the Sheriff's Department and that program still in our schools. We have the All A's luncheon, the Perfect Attendance luncheon. I mean, kids are being recognized for all kinds of things, that they're doing. We have another neat program that we do with our FFA. It's called Food for America, where the 2nd graders come in and we have livestock brought in. They talk about how food's produced, basically ag, really telling what ag is all about, in America and what it does. So our 2nd graders get a great exposure to that. They have horses and cows and a little petting zoo. It's just a great time, and we continue to do that at Colonel Crawford, and I think that's awesome. We also do an interesting thing we started years ago, and we've continued to do senior projects. Each senior has to complete a senior project, and that would encompass a portfolio. You got your resume, you got job shadowing information. You have to job shadow so many times. You have to give a presentation to a panel of people about your senior project. And I know my son, Clay, when he went through school, wanted to be a doctor. Well, he spent a day at a local doctor's office and got to see some of the things that aren't so glamorous. Came home and said, I don't want to be a doctor anymore. So, I mean, I think it's a good opportunity for kids to see, what's out there and get exposure. And we still do that. And I'm glad we still do it. Graduation is the 19th. Another amazing group. This is a group I came in with, the superintendent. And I'm going out.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
with this group. And they've done great things. So the 19th at 2:30, we'll be having graduation down at the stadium again, barring Mother Nature. Not doing anything crazy, but we're hoping that that'll be a success again. We have pre-K graduation. We actually run a graduation for the preschool kids that are transitioning out of preschool. And that's an amazing event, too, on the 28th.
I bet,
Where they run it like a ceremony. Kids come up and, it's really neat. Fifth grade's going to COSI, fourth grade's going to Low Volk. I mean, May is nonstop busy, but it's fun. It's a fun busy. April is a busy, but it's a focused, let's assess the kids, make sure they're growing, make sure we're doing what we need to do. Now, let's transition to a different side of education. I'm so glad we haven't lost that aspect of it, that we continue to do that. And then the 30th, May 30th is the last day for students.
Wow.
And they'll be celebrating, running off, doing their thing for the summer. Staff will be the next day, and they'll be running off and doing things. We have 4 new hires. We try to get on the hires right away. I found if you wait till the end, everybody's taken. So we try to do it as soon as we know there's a position open. We try to hire. Obviously, we talked about last podcast, Mr. Vole, Mike Vole will be taking my spot. He'll do a great job. We have a guy named Brian Brown coming in as high school principal to replace Mr. Bull. And I worked with Brian for 7 years when I was at Clear Fork. An amazing person. A great personality. Has been a high school principal for 16, 17 years, and administrator for over 20. He'll fit in perfectly with Colonel Crawford and our culture, because Clear Fork is a lot like us. It's a community, proud of its schools, I think it's going to be a great transition. Then we have 2 teachers. Ellen Haldeman is coming to us from Cardington, and she will do middle school technology teacher. Going to put in some STEM. We're going to incorporate STEM into the curriculum.
That's cool.
We've been wanting to do it, and now the time is. She's got some exposure to STEM, and we're going to get some more training, and we're going to start running with that a little bit.
Great.
And then we have Amanda Riggle, who is a parent with 5 kids in the district, will be taking on a 4th grade position teacher. And again, just amazing personalities. And I've told you guys over the year, our focus on hiring, we want to hire the perfect person. As far as the pedagogy and the standards, if you're not well versed, and we look for the combo, but even so, I want the person before I want that. We can train you to be a good teacher. Can't train you to be a good person. So that first and foremost is what we're about. Last time I was on the show, I talked about different books. I try to read a book each month, and this month I'm on to a new one that Jake Bruner, our AD, turned me on to. It's called Make the Big Time Where You Are by Frosty Westering. And it's basically about people set goals, and they have, long-term, short-term goals, and they work hard to get there, but they forget to enjoy the process along the way. They get there, and it's like, oh, this is it? It's like going through the week. And we try to get our teachers to understand this, too. You got Blue Monday, you got Hump Day Wednesday, you got TGIF Friday. It's like you're living 5 days for a 2-day weekend. So you're enjoying 2 out of 7. It don't make no sense. Enjoy the ride. Make every day an enjoyable day. And I think if we can accomplish that task, it's infectious with the kids. I always talk about infectious. Attitudes and how you approach life is infectious to people around you. And after looking through and reading this book, it's right. You need to live the 5 days, enjoy every one of those 5, and then the weekends is icing on the cake.
Exactly.
But no, that's kind of in a nutshell. I'm anxious for a new chapter. Nervous that I'm leaving this chapter.
Well, if someone doesn't know, where are you headed? So we'll let people know where
North Central Ohio Education Service Center.
Okay.
I think I'll probably be working out of Marion. There's Marion office, there's Tiffin office. Kind of a hybrid. I'll be deputy superintendent next year, and working with superintendents, administrators, professional development, transportation. I mean, it's It's an exciting chapter.
Yeah.
I think every chapter of your book's exciting,
Right.
and this is just another exciting chapter. But I've really enjoyed my time at Colonel Crawford.
Yeah,
You know, the
it
students,
shows.
staff, community as a whole. It's just been absolutely amazing.
Well, Todd, thank you for everything your staff has done this past your past career at Colonel Crawford. Thank you so much.
Well, thanks for having me on as always.
Oh,
And
thank you. You're always welcome, no matter what you're doing, to come on here. Thank
Well,
you so much, Todd.
take care. Maybe you'll have me back on again, and I'll talk to you in a different capacity.
I would love that. Thank you so much.